What's up, guys? Another day, another dollar. I was not able to post on YouTube for the last week because I was trying to tell you guys that the OG Horsemeet shirts are back, as well as international shipping, which everyone's been asking me for I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years. Basically, I was showing pictures of some viewers in the OG Horsemeet t-shirt, not the designs I made that were not as popular. Everyone just kept asking me for the OGs. Like, I made the OGs like sold out originally, right? And I made a bunch of new designs and no one liked the new designs. They were like, bring the OG shirts back that just say Horsemeet with the logo on the back. Anyway, they're back, and I feel bad I haven't been able to tell you guys because my video got taken down and I wasn't able to post for a week. The Instagram people bought up a ton of them, but there's still a good bit left. Like, we really restocked it. Sorry, I wanted to post, but so the picture I showed was a viewer and his girlfriend doing something maybe inappropriate while having a Horsemeet shirt in the picture. That was what got it taken down, and then the week-long no posting thing. So we're back though. Cop the OG Horsemeet t-shirts on Horsemeet.shop. For some of the news that you may have missed this last week. First, we got the OnlyFans CEO passed away. You know, but everyone's like celebrating, thinking this is the end of OnlyFans, which it's not. Someone knew, he had cancer for a while, and I talked about it on Instagram, but I believe that someone new with new innovative ideas that is actually healthy enough to like add shit will just take his place. So, other unemployed news, Clavicular got slapped. And I think he's going to press charges. And then I saw another incident with a girl. I don't know if he's like allergic to cheese or something, but he's going to see if he can press charges for attempted murder because a girl brought a cheese stick to the club and threw it at him. I don't think it hit him, but I don't know. He might be allergic, so he could have died if that hit him. I'm not really sure. And last piece of unemployed news, Sam Sulek's backing a peptide company, which Greg Doucette is mad about. I don't know. Sam Sulek has his own like peptide. He put his name behind this peptide company. So he's going to be a rich man very soon because, you know, everyone's buying peptides these days. Retatrutide, the Lux Maxing one, GHK. Everyone's buying that shit. So we'll see what happens. That's it for today's news. We have had a huge buildup of emails because of the not being able to post. So let's check some of those. Also, as you can see, I got the shelf. So when you get close, it's like motion activated. So when you walk close to it, it lights up. Because I turned 24 on the 19th, so it was my birthday. I'm a 24-year-old unk. I'm like a grandfather now, basically. So first email, we got, my talking stage told me about her hoe stories. That's not the actual title. The title is actually long-term hookup squirter talks about slut stories in front of me. But you know, I gotta make it nice for the title. Hey Horsemeet, please block out my name. I've been watching you for a couple months now and find your videos very entertaining. Anyways, I've been hooking up with this girl for around 8 months. I got with her right after I broke up with my ex. Her and I had a threesome a couple years ago with her friend, but never talked again until I broke up with my ex. Things were cool, no strings attached. She fucked me like I've never been fucked before. Alt chick with mental issues. I bet there's some dudes starving. Like, how do all these emails get alt girls? And it's like, why can't I go through something like this? You know, it's funny. I'm sorry if that's how you're feeling. You don't want this. We get along great. She started to fall for me hard, but doesn't want anything serious. I'm cool with that. She keeps talking about other guys she's been with randomly or talking about her ex. I don't take it in a jealous way. I take it in a disrespectful way. I told her 2 times last night that I don't want to hear about that. Then the 3rd time she brought it up, I snapped and said, I don't want to hear about you being with other guys while you're naked next to me in my bed. Kind of rubs me the wrong way. She got really upset, rolled over, and gave me the silent treatment. Is that an unreasonable ask? It's like, hey, could you not tell me about how all these guys fucked you? I don't think that's like an unreasonable ask. You know, maybe the tone of voice is what got her upset, but like, I don't know, ladies, is that an unreasonable ask? I'm not going to fall into her little trap, so I stay where I was laying down about to fall asleep, and she turns the TV down and starts whimpering. Crocodile tears, waiting for my attention. She got up and pushed me a little bit to get my attention, and when I rolled over, she looked at me and started crying. That's manipulation. That's a manipulation tactic. I told her I'm not mad at her, I just don't want her to tell me things I don't need to know. She then said, I watched you fuck another girl right in front of me. And then parentheses says the threesome we did with her friend years prior. I thought for a second, and she said, so you're getting upset that you can't talk to another man about your ex? She went quiet for a couple minutes and then started apologizing multiple times. Why even have a threesome if you're going to be mad about it later down the line? We go out to hit my bong and she reiterates that she's sorry. She's sometimes disrespectful and I shut it down, but it's getting exhausting. She fucks me like a porn star, which is why I don't want to kick her to the curb. She comes multiple times from penetration and clit stimulation. Both of us enjoy the sex a lot. Next time it happens, and if it keeps happening after shutting it down, what should I do? If it's not serious to you, why do you care? If it's literally just like a hookup thing, well, I don't know, I'd still care. I'd be like, I don't know, just keep fucking telling her, and if she doesn't stop, just kick her to the curb, bro, fuck it. It's like, why do you feel the need to tell me these things? You know what I'm saying? I think they're starting to get feelings involved. Watch out for those feelings getting involved. Is it wrong to give drugs to a depressed person in hopes of sex? Yes. Very wrong. It's almost like manipulating. See, I don't want to say it's rapey unless you're like giving her drugs so that she can get fucked up and then to have sex with her. Like that is actually rape. Now that I'm thinking about it, is this a confession? Hey Logan, first of all, I want to say I love your videos. I usually listen to you reading emails and telling about your experiences as I work, play games, or just chill. Thank you. That's what I hope people are doing. Just put it on in the background. Like, I play a lot of video games, so I just listen to a lot of stuff. I'm currently 19 years old and studying computer science. I met my ex 2 years ago in my class, and she was a really nice and sweetest girl I've ever met. Pretty, nice smile, nice features. Also might be worth telling that this is my first girlfriend I've ever had, so keep that in mind. Anyway, fast forward 2 months and I started dating her. We had a lot in common. She also took my virginity. Everything was going well, sex was great, but one day, maybe 6 months into the relationship, I found out that she's depressed, and not only a normal depression, like a long, chronic 6-year depression that had turned into a psychotic depression. And the reason I found out was because she tried to gouge her eyes out with a spoon during a psychotic episode. Stop you right there. Gouge her eyes out with a spoon, that's too much for me. If that were me, I think I can't tie myself into some fucking awful shit like that. I just, send her to help, but I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not Batman. I've always been under the impression that you have to figure your own shit out before you get into relationships, because then you're just going to put all that shit onto them, whether you want to or not. Eventually, it's just going to come out. And when you guys get the feeling like you find out they have a ton of shit, and you're deciding, should I deal with this? Don't do it. This was an absolute shock to me. But that was really traumatizing. And these episodes went on, but I didn't mind them since I was blinded by love. And I said it was my first relationship ever, so I had no idea what to do. I wouldn't even know what to do. And like, if I were to date someone like that now, and I've been in relationships, I wouldn't even know what the fuck to do. All a medical professional, maybe even an exorcist. If she's floating, trying to gouge her eyes out, speaking in, ancient tongues, I'd call a fucking exorcist. I'd be like, she's possessed. We've been dating for 11 months at this point, with her having multiple psychotic episodes, cutting, and all kinds of self-harm. I lost my spot. But at the 11th month mark, she decided that it would be a good idea to break up, but stay in contact, and my stupid ass thought it was a good idea too. Spoiler alert, it's almost never a good idea to stay friends with an ex. I agree. I'm not going to get into it. I made a bunch of videos talking about it, but I agree. Now we see each other every couple months, and she always wants drugs from me. Like, I supply her, and she pays me for them, but she also wants me to have sex with her. And since I've been friends with her for so long, the relationship kind of fucked me up mentally, so I've not been looking for a new girl or potential sexual partners. This is the most fucked up situation I've been in, and I don't know the correct way to move forward from this. Should I block her cold turkey and not say anything and try how our friendship works, or just do what I'm doing now? And she also probably has other men around as well, so I don't know. I think for her benefit, stop giving her drugs, first off, even if she's buying them. That's only making the problem worse. Usually when you're in a bad place and you just start doing drugs, you get super addicted. That's when you get addicted. I've seen people in good places doing drugs. Like, not that I'm like saying doing drugs, but if you're going to do something like that, being in a good place versus a bad place, people that are just doing it recreationally or something, once again, I'm not condoning drug use, but they're less likely to get addicted and use it as a crutch. But if you're in a bad place and you're doing it, you're going to start using it as a crutch. And that's like where you start seeing people that are like, go through the fucking hit rock bottom, then they go to rehab and they get their little coins for, being sober X amount of years. Giving her drugs while she's in such a bad place and having sex with her, you're creating two dependencies as a coping mechanism for getting through whatever she's going through, and you're honestly dragging her to a worse place. You're pushing her even worse. I think it would be best for you and her, 1, stop giving her drugs, 2, stop having sex with her and giving her contact. As bad as that is, she's probably gonna start freaking out and all this other stuff, but long term, it'll be good for both of you, and just less draining on you. Can't live like that where you feel all this guilt and stress and like this fucked up girl is always coming banging on your door for sex and drugs. Like, you don't want that in your life. As hard as it is, I think you should just cut it. So that's just me. And then hopefully she gets help. Maybe you can suggest some resources, because down the line, as hard as it is in the moment, it's going to be, you're doing a good thing for her. Don't keep contact with her, because people can just be as addicting as drugs. If how with toxic bad people, you keep going back, it can be just as bad as drugs, just as detrimental on your mental health. So this one, I don't even know if I can post this one. This will be the last one I read. Girlfriend says I SA'd her. Hey, Horsemeet, please keep this anonymous. Just for context, I've been with my girl for 1.5 years, and we're both each other's first everything. Okay. Our sex life is great, although we don't see each other too often enough for it to be truly top tier. The quality is there, just not the quantity, in my opinion. Anyways, on Valentine's, I booked us a hotel, and we had sex for 4 or 5 hours, 6 or 7 rounds, watched a movie in between, and it was some of the most fire sex I've ever had in my life. We went to the bedroom, we went to the bathroom, to the bed, to the TV, every single foot of that hotel room we fucked in. Anyways, at 3 to 4 a.m., it was our final round, and I was low-key tired, so instead of pulling out, I just busted in her for the final time and fingered her after. We were going raw the whole night. She asked me, "Did you finish?" I said, "Yeah." And by the way, she was on her period. She didn't really mention anything about it, and then a day later, she said she didn't like it. She said I didn't ask for consent and that she was uncomfortable. I sat with her and I apologized and said the next time I won't do it. Now, in my defense, our agreement to sex was that there was no off limits and that we use a safe word to let each other know each other's boundaries. If I had known she didn't like it, then I would have never done it. Additionally, a previous time we were having drunk sex and she whispered in my ear, "Come in me, I'll take a plan B tomorrow," in the most seductive way possible that my brain told me to resist, but my body just couldn't. I tried to resist then because she was ovulating, but luckily she didn't get pregnant from that. The reason that I tell you this story is because in my mind, she was into getting nutted in, so I genuinely didn't think me nutting in her this time would matter. A couple of weeks later, in an argument, she flips out on me saying I fully sexually assaulted her and how I violated her. I don't know if she actually believes that or not, because when we argue, she says some outlandish shit she doesn't mean, so I don't know how to take this. What are your thoughts? I genuinely think it was a simple misunderstanding that it won't happen again now that I know it's a boundary for her. I guess she felt powerless compared to when she was drunk and asked me to do it. I don't know, man. Hope this isn't all over the place. Love your videos. Let me know what you think. I gotta be careful with my answer here. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to condone anything, but it genuinely seems like you didn't mean to do anything harmful, but now you know the boundary. I mean, I'm not reading this thinking like, oh, you did something, you know, that you meant to do or anything like that. I do think it was a misunderstanding, but you know, that, I don't know. I mean, just tell her, like, just apologize and say it'll never happen again unless you get this consent. I don't know. I mean, this kind of depends on who you're with, kind of thing, you know, because different people like different things, and different people's lines and boundaries are different. But this is kind of between you and her. I mean, it's like, I don't think you had malintent, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to answer because, like, if I answer this certain way, the people are like, oh, you're condoning this. Like, no, it's not what I'm saying. But I just don't think you, like, meant to do anything bad. But, you know, apologize, you know, be like, hey, this will never happen again. I'm sorry that I crossed that boundary, and, you know, move on, you know. And if she's that upset about it, you know, then, you know, I don't know. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I'm sorry I wasn't able to post for a week. Yeah, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I've been doing anime reviews on Horsemeet.shop on Instagram, anime and manga reviews that I really like if you're into that kind of stuff. But I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.